Today's a big day in scouting as we check out number 7 Pittsburgh at number 13 North Carolina. North Carolina and J.C. Rochelle have been very hot on the coaches this year. They've been looking at him all year long, but they play a tough Pittsburgh defense, and it shows early on with a huge stop. But look at this. What a punt inside the one. So Pittsburgh actually ends up driving, picking up a field goal anyway. And Bob Howe, the apple of J.C. Rochelle's eye, maybe a little too much in this game as he went to him early and often, and the field goal kicker was not doing any favors. A missed field goal, and then later on, J.C. Rochelle trying to go to Howe, and that pass was just jumped, taken back inside the 20-yard line. Pittsburgh with a huge turnover and a face mask to boot, which put Pittsburgh in deep scoring range in the red zone. And here with a 3rd and goal, 45 seconds to go first half, it is Breon Lamb, who did not have a great day rushing the football average-wise, I will admit. But there he picks up the short yardage rushing touchdown. These games were streamed over on Kick, so if you want to check out some more FGFL over on Kick, check out the link in the description below. As Rochelle was under pressure all day long, getting sacked, and then look at this. From under the pressure, gets it to Chaz Little for a huge first down. So Rochelle wasn't without his wow plays in this ball game, despite the fact that the Pittsburgh Panther defense was on him all day. Matt Diavanzo has been the apple of a couple of scouts' eyes. The wide receiver still making a couple of plays, but it was Matthew Briggs who came out of this game looking really good. Big throw to Isaiah Ward Jr., who's just a freshman, and that was a huge play to set up Pittsburgh for this one. Briggs to a wide-open TJ Basham Jr., and the senior with a touchdown to make it 17-0. North Carolina really getting run out of the building on this one at home. They're a screenplay on 3rd and 17. Rochelle just couldn't find anything down the field. So Pittsburgh playing really well, and there you go. Matthew Briggs getting it done again inside the 20-yard line to Vince Alston, who is probably going to end up being an accountant. There's Kyle Washington. That is not enough. And then the big throw from Rochelle, like I said, he wasn't without his wow plays. He did make a couple of nice dots, and then this one over here to Bob Howe for a nice reception, and then Rochelle just taking it into the end zone himself wide open for a 4-yard touchdown run. Rochelle able to get North Carolina on the board to prevent the shutout, but it was Haoli Richards and this Pittsburgh defense. Billy DeVault-Smith had a fantastic game. A lot of people hoping the junior redshirt will come out in the draft. We'll have to see how it goes, but Briggs catching some people's eyes. Both of these quarterbacks, juniors. Pittsburgh remains undefeated at number 7 in the nation. So we'll see how far they can climb as we check out number 3 Texas and number 14 Oklahoma in the Red River Showdown. Jamie Cothey, the quarterback for Oklahoma, has caught a little bit of attention in early on in the season, and then Cothey with a huge throw to the end zone. He finds his man DJ Hooker, who is a junior wide receiver, but this man right here has been a huge look for a lot of scouts, and that is Chris Bonds, the quarterback for Texas. He's got the help of some running backs here. Matt Mangum did not have a bad game. He's not going to make the stat sheet, but he had a few really nice carries. Spelling for Bunmi Faria, who had a wonderful game himself. As you can see, a lot of running the football for Texas in this football game. And then the run right there for Matt Mangum, nice 12-yard run. And then Bonds with a little play fake, taking it himself into the end zone for the rushing score. So Chris Bonds still going to remain hot on a lot of people's draft boards, should he declare. That's the thing. Jamie Cothey, 3rd and 6. Nice throw up the middle, picks up some yardage. Not a lot of big-time receivers on Oklahoma, but Jamie Cothey getting the job done. There's a throw to Trey Hampton, the tight end, and Chris Bonds is a guy that will just use anybody he can to get the job done. Look at this. There goes Bunmi Faria with a huge gain. Again, he's a really, really good quarterback in the read option as he gives it to Matt Mangum and lets him just scamper in for the touchdown. Texas with that 17-10 lead. Jamie Cothey trying to do too much, and he has brought down. Jared Wheeler just had an amazing game as well. Jared Wheeler has been a hot defensive player on this Texas defense, as well as CJ Miller. A lot of people interested in those guys. 4th and 8. The field goal is good from Texas. 20-10. They just got to hold on. Jamie Cothey brought down a fumble forced as well. The defense for Texas is well documented this season. There's a nice throw, though, from Cothey on a 3rd and 11, but a pass interference on the offense. That is a rare one. DJ Hooker, a little undisciplined, and that made it 3rd and 21 for the Sooners, and Jared Wheeler is there again to make the huge defensive sack and prevent anything from going on that drive. Bonds down the middle finds his man for a 1st down, and then a longish field goal here, kicked and through the uprights. 23-10 at that point, but Oklahoma, look at this beautiful kickoff return, taken all the way across the 30, across the 20 with a broken tackle. That set up easy score. Jamie Cothey taking it to the right side. Nobody there until he gets near the end zone, and he just barrels his way in there. So Oklahoma not dead yet with some time left. The 1st down on 3rd and 7 for Bunmi Faria is enough to get it done, and Chris Bonds, CJ Miller and company very happy. Bonds gets player of the game. He did have a wonderful day. Bunmi Faria had a great day with his 21 touches. Matt Mangum, like I said, played good. He's not going to make this stat sheet because Jared Wheeler, CJ Miller, and Carlos Benjamin are 3 big-time defenders. For Oklahoma, they do have a couple of really nice defenders in Tyler Heflin and Neil Meinmeyer, but Jamie Cothey, I don't know if he's going to come out. He might need another year as we go to the next set of highlights with Ole Miss taking on number 21 Auburn. And as you can see here, Therian, which is a tackle a lot of people were looking at, he's done for the year. Dom Johnstone has a couple of weeks left, so that gives Aiden Turkey, the freshman redshirt, the start in this game, and he's a lefty. Aiden Turkey throwing all over the place and running the option, giving a chance here for the field goal kicker, but it's no good. So Ole Miss gets their chance as well. They got a young quarterback themselves. They've got sophomore redshirt Matthew Sanders. And look at this toe drag swag. Matthew Sanders getting the help from his receiving talent. And then a 3rd and goal later on, stopped. Big stop for Auburn. They just give up a field goal. Aiden Turkey taking it. It is fumbled and picked up by his running back, Jonathan Cruz, who had an amazing game in this one. Aiden Turkey with a nice dotty to the left side to his roommate, Leighton Carter, who makes a wonderful play. Then up the middle, it's Scale Mack, the spellback. I didn't mean to Bill Nye the Science Guy that one. There's a 3-yard run for Cruz for a 1st down, and then Aiden Turkey on the left side. Better throwing to the left for a lefty. It could be confusing for some defenses. Not a lot of lefties out there, but it wasn't confusing on this play as Ole Miss coming up with an interception. That is a big play for free safety Mike Rigel, who made that play. But right back at him, it's Matthew Sanders throwing the pick the other way, going to Cameron Waller getting an interception. Then the throw into the end zone for Trey Woisen. It was his only catch of the day, but Aiden Turkey out here trying to get the job done. Here's a big throw right side. So you can see flashes from both of these young quarterbacks. They have a little bit more time to work with. There's a long field goal, Ole Miss. That's not going to go through. And the run, again, Jonathan Cruz, a lot of big runs for him on this day. There's the throw from Turkey, picking up a first down on a big 2nd and 7. Leighton Carter coming up with some big first down catches. Here's Aiden Turkey under some heavy pressure, going down for the sack. Big sack for Michael Koch. And then Matthew Sanders intercepted again. So 2 picks, one by Waller and one by a corner who is actually really young. Not even going to mention him. He barely gets playing time, but he made a nice play. So Matthew Sanders sacked for a loss of 8 by Blaylock. Huge play for him. And then a strip, a fumble. A lot of defense going on in this one against these 2 young quarterbacks. So Ole Miss takes over with a chance. Look at Sanders throwing the dotty and the broken tackle for the tight end Jose Patterson, who had himself just that catch on the day, but it was enough for a touchdown. Aiden Turkey still on these read options, running that one and then handing this one off to Jonathan Cruz, who just went absolutely sick nasty in this game. He had 23 carries for 129 yards. Here's the throw to Leighton Carter, who ended up with only 3 catches for 49, but we pretty much highlighted every single one of them. And then a doink off the upright, which would have given Auburn a 6-point lead. It keeps Ole Miss in the ball game, and Matthew Sanders trying to get downfield with this offense, throwing and missing couple of times. A 4th and 8, Ole Miss going for it with 1:51 to go, and the throw from Sanders is short of the sticks, enough to get a turnover on downs, get it back to Aiden Turkey and Jonathan Cruz, and they do what they need to do. Coach is happy. Cameron Waller ends up with the player of the game for his interception. Aiden Turkey goes 13 of 16 for 100 yards, a touchdown, interception, and 30 rushing yards. Matthew Sanders, 136 yards, touchdown, 2 interceptions. Ole Miss, pretty young team though. They've got a lot of time to grow. So is Auburn, really. Leighton Carter, Aiden Turkey, even Blaylock and Waller could stay in school and grow together. Cruz looks like he's going to go to the league. Number 12, USF. Number 25, Navy. A battle of unlikely ranked teams featuring Chris Mayhew, a senior quarterback who has been leading this USF offense. And here, very short throws, very accurate short ball thrower is Chris Mayhew, and very speedy quarterback. There on the read option, it's Cordell Hakens for a 6-yard gain and a first down. But on a 3rd and 26, let me tell you something. This is an arm punt, and it is just trying to pick up big yards, but my man Mayhew does not have the arm like that. But I will tell you one thing about this USF team. Their offensive line is trash. They committed so many holding calls in this game and false starts. It is ridiculous. Here's Navy and Roddy Poe picking up a couple of big catches. That gets Navy in position to try to kick a field goal. That one is short and no good. So Navy had a chance to take a lead, and then later on, here's a beautiful throw to Marcus Petty for 15 yards. That was one of his only catches of the day. Let me tell you, Navy didn't throw for a lot of yards in this thing. And Jet Jones Grigsby, one of those kind of scat back type of dudes, just didn't have a lot of room to work with in this one, as another field goal gets missed by Navy. They just don't have the kicking power. They don't have the players. And then Mayhew throwing this one in traffic. That was probably his worst decision of the day. That one just getting picked off. Mayhew was looking bad early, but let me tell you something about Mayhew. He does not hold anything in. He lets it go, and you can see it here, just taking USF down the field with Kingsley McGaskey. What a name. But Mayhew was just trying to lead this offense to finally pick up some points. And there's Justin McSwain with a huge 23-yard run. A lot of their open runs due to the fact that people are looking for Mayhew to take off just like this. Look at that. He ran right around that man. Luckily for the Navy defense, there were some people there to stand him up and make sure he doesn't get in. But Mayhew's a really tough runner. There's a very nice play by 98 of Navy. huge play to stop Chris Mayhew and sack him, but the offensive line doesn't do Mayhew any favors. As you can see, Navy breaks right through, sacked for a loss of 10 on that play by Dominique Harris, who's actually a really good right outside linebacker, junior too. He could stay in school. There's the throw, left side, Marquise Noble. Noble is probably the best weapon Mayhew has to work with outside of his own self. 7-yard rush right there for Mayhew, picking up a big first down. He had 9 runs already in the first half. As you can see, he's kind of like that one-man show, but you could see the talent right there, running and throwing on the run, stepping up to the line. The talent of Mayhew is there. He just happens to play for the USF Bulls. There's a big throw right there, and that one's going to get taken for a huge gain by Marquise Noble. Like I said, probably his best weapon. Here's Mayhew to the end zone, and that one probably should have been caught, but it was not. Very nice jar loose by the Navy corners, and that ends up being another field goal for USF. Here goes Mayhew. Look at this. Breaking tackles down the right sideline. He was pretty incredible, despite the fact that USF could only muster field goals until this point. There goes Mayhew again. He is extremely fast. And then, boom, running some people over. He's like a Cam Newton type of player that makes these Pat Mahomes-like throws. Just happens to not play for a good team. That one, unfortunately, was getting hit as he tried to throw that one, so another field goal for USF. Now, Navy, they were getting really dominated in this game, despite the fact that it was only 12-0, but that wasn't going to stop them from trying to come back. That's a beautiful throw inside the 20-yard line, and the Navy quarterback Logan Wallace had a chance to bring the team in this thing, but that one short of the sticks. And then on 4th and 3, Logan Wallace to the end zone, just intercepted. And it wouldn't have mattered if it was intercepted or not, but due to the fact that there was nothing but green grass in front of this man, intercepting the pass probably better than knocking it down. So USF and Cade Smith, the right outside linebacker, with that interception. That gives Mayhew another chance, but again, the line just not holding for him, just not giving him any lanes to run with. Look at this, a free pass for 55 of Navy coming in with an easy sack. And then this throw for Navy, trying to bring them back again. Wallace gets another chance despite the fact that his defense gave up a field goal. And look at Navy just go, man. Getting down the field here. They're doing much better in the second half than they did in the first half. There's another big play for a first down, and the midshipmen really trying to get back into this thing. Logan Wallace taking it himself on 1st and 10, picks up a nice little gain of 15 yards, and then Wallace up the middle completes a pass. Now, they really need this short yardage play, but look at Wallace on the triple option, and that is something we expect to see more of from Navy, but just haven't seen it in this game. And then the throw for the touchdown to a guy with one of the best names, Connor Clock. He is a junior tight end. He also had a pancake in this game, so quite the blocker as well. The 2-point conversion was no good, and the onside kick was recovered by USF. That was enough for them to escape, and despite the fact that the game says the player of the game was a kicker who made 5 field goals, I still think we saw a lot of good from Chris Mayhew, even though it doesn't appear that way on the stat sheet. And of course, a lot of the defenders for USF for keeping Navy out of the end zone for the most part. Just that one touchdown, they did a good job of stopping Navy otherwise. So now, our big cap of the video. Number 10, Penn State. Number 24, Nebraska. This is a huge game, and a little flip there on the option play. This is a guy to watch out for, Elijah Alford. Unfortunately for him, he got taken out of this game with injury, but he's been a huge running back for them, and the first 2 plays that were big for Nebraska went to Alford. Unfortunately, those were the only 2 plays he got. Now, look at this. Quarterback coming down inside the 5, fumbling the football. That is Nebraska quarterback Braden Waldrop. He is just a sophomore. So he's got a lot to learn. We see the first play here from somebody everybody wants to see, King Dusk, but unfortunately it goes for a 2-yard loss. Now here's Waldrop taking it left side. He is one of those speedy quarterbacks. Again, there's a lot of these scrambling quarterbacks out there, these read option QBs. Elijah Alford, by the way, junior redshirt, so he's got another chance if he's going to be out for any significant time. Here's Marcus Delgado throwing to King Dusk. Big first down pickup. Then Delgado going to take it himself. Look at this, right around the defender who seemed to be paying no attention whatsoever. Don't draft that guy. Here goes Waldrop again up the middle, picking up a gain of 16. Penn State up 3-0. There's a little screen play. That's Mike Gordon. He is a senior running back. He had 21 carries for 83 yards in this game, and he did run over some Penn State defenders from time to time, but he definitely did get dropped for a loss from time to time too. Very risk-reward player. There's Blair Kirkland with an 11-yard catch, but none of the wide receivers really going to make the stat sheet on this one. Jaron Smith. It was a real spread around for Braden Waldrop, and the drive on this one stalls, but it ties the ball game at 3. Waldrop would get another chance later on a 3rd and 9. Look at this beautiful catch from Townsend, and then giving it to Gordon, going up the middle for 10 yards of 1st and goal, but later it would get to 3rd and goal. Not a lot of time in the half, and that's where Waldrop made a big mistake. So Penn State with the interception. Here's a big throw from Delgado coming out of the half, and he gets his man King Dusk, and you could just see the speed from Dusk. 75-yard receiving touchdown for King Dusk. Very huge, and there's a lot of people interested in drafting that young man. Here's Nebraska on a 1st and 10. It's Braden Waldrop finding an open receiver in Eman Thomas. Then on 3rd and 6, just when he needs one, he cannot find one, and he's dumped for a loss of 11. Left end for Penn State, junior Justin Barron did have 2 sacks and 4 TFLs in this game. There's Marcus Delgado moving the offense again. Just when it has a chance to stall here on 3rd and 12, he is brought down for a huge sack by Darren White of the Nebraska defense. So Waldrop giving the ball up the middle. Look at this, breaking some tackles, and that is Robert Howard, the 3rd-string running back, finding his way. Here's a little pitch, and that's going to go to the end zone. Blair Kirkland, the wide receiver, finding a way to get in the end zone rushing. That wouldn't be the only one of those we would see. You'll get there in a minute. Here goes Delgado, taking it up the sideline, brought down after a gain of 14 yards. 3rd and 10 with 2:10 to go in the 3rd. Look at this, a wide open receiver. Guy just sat there and waited all day for his package to be delivered. Here's a run up the gut. That's Roman Peterson, the running back for Penn State. He's kind of used in many different ways. 16 carries, 5 receptions on the day, and that would get them another Penn State field goal. Here we go, and it is Braden Waldrop leading Nebraska down the field again. Not a lot of time. It's 4th quarter, and Waldrop with nobody in the backfield going to take it himself on a 3rd and 10. Probably not the greatest play call for a QB draw. Probably wasn't the right time, but that was the play call, and the Nebraska kicker not even close to good enough to make that long kick. But Nebraska gets another chance, and this time it is intercepted and taken all the way back to around the 50-yard line. That's a huge pick for Matt Inman, the free safety. Then big run for Roman Peterson, taking it up right side for 31 yards. It gives Penn State a chance here, and that's not even a long field goal that's missed. So 13-10 still, and Mike Gordon trying to lead Nebraska down with 2:40 to go. Here goes Gordon again. He's got nowhere to go. I don't know why you'd run a draw there. So Penn State takes over, a little bit backed up in their own end, and look at Peterson getting upended to bring a 4th and 10 on. So after a pretty bad punt and an easy return, here comes Meffy Williams. What a name. And Braden Waldrop down the field. Waldrop, that one should have been intercepted by Jackson Lohr, and he knows it. Jackson Lohr, a very good corner in the country. Here's a screenplay to Gordon. Doesn't go very far, but Nebraska with a chance to tie this thing up. It's not a gimme, but it does go through the uprights. We're tied at 13. So, Marcus Delgado looking for a receiver deep, and he just didn't have enough arm to get it to Dusk, who was behind the entire defense. But in overtime, giving it to Dusk, and there is the rushing touchdown for a receiver. I told you were going to get one. But here in overtime, it's Waldrop throwing short of the sticks, leaving a 4th and 11. So Waldrop now throwing again, and it is just short. Waldrop just short on the throw to Howard, and King Dusk is your player of the game in this very tight Big Ten win. He had 3 runs for 5 yards and a touchdown, and 5 catches for 125 and a touchdown. So huge game for Dusk with a lot of scouts in the building. We'll have to see what happens in the next one.